What's up, guys? We've got my first battle of this World Cup of Pokemon. It is a black and white OU battle between babidi1998, also known as Heist, and Elodin, also known as Popeye Noel. And his team choice is heavily influenced by the infamous Jan King, who Elodin is has notably been a puppet for in the past. And I think he's a nice guy and all, but at the same time, when it comes to this, then I cannot ignore that. So we will keep in mind that there's a possibility of King actually playing this battle, as he does brag about it and all the wins 24/7. And well, Brazil is pretty shameless. Or I shouldn't say all of Brazil, but these guys make Brazil look bad. Kind of like the couple Italian cheaters make Italy look bad. Anyway, so the Dragmag is initially a CL team, which just swept the metagame by storm last year. But King always insisted that Latios was better than Starmie, and Jirachi was Citrus. Whereas these days, Heist, because I'm not going to say Babidi, has a love for interesting strategies, as you can see here. And he just likes to, these days, he likes to really push the metagame to the limit and see what dumb shit he can do to just really take or make for interesting games, to say the least. So he loves Doug Trio. He loves his trapping. It makes for interesting, unique dynamics. And he also likes Zatu for annoying dynamics with Doug Trio. He's got Excadrill, which could be Scarf. I think you would like the speed and the extra spin, obviously, for hazard removal. Slowbro, I would assume, is Rocky Helmet, just like Zatu, but that can Calm Mind. I don't think it's gonna Calm Mind, but it can. It's regen. It's awesome, and with Hazard Support, it's gonna be really, really annoying to break through. And Scarm Chans, as you know, Scarm Chans. I'm sure he's got some weird moves in there too. So Chansey leads off. There's no spin, so rocks will stay up as Elodin gets the Latios lead out. So we could see the possibility of Trick here, because it is a Specs Latios for its immense power. I'm not sure if King Elodin prefer Trick or Sleep Talk, because although the Dragonite could be Lum, it could also be Choice Banded, so he's probably going to want a way to deal with Breloom. Of course, the default choice on this team is Choice Band, Sleep Talk, Kyurem Black, but that isn't the best Breloom switch. But I say Trick is probably likelier, and Zatu gets the Specs and gets a Rocky Helmet. Latios gets a Rocky Helmet, sorry. So now Chansey is, well, no, Chansey's not home free because Latios can still trick the Rocky Helmet. So Zatu doesn't really need its helmet because helmet is mainly used for chipping at T-Tar while it gets crunched to death, which takes 2 unless it's banded. So Zatu still has to run in fear. I don't think he's going to just sacrifice it. Yeah, back to Chansey on Draco. Does nothing. Rocks are going to go up. And, well, Chansey does well against Scarf Chomp if it has its Eviolite, but it does not do so well if it loses it. And Dragonite as well, although Dragonite could just be Bandit or DD will fuck up Chansey anyway, so, and Kyurem's just going to dump it, so it's going to be Rocks Jirachi. I believe the Brazilians prefer the Citrus route for repeated switching into Latios and Alakazam, although lefties or Shuka I think is superior. So, not sure if Heist just wants to get up Rocks to limit the ease to Dragons. So, Latios does take the Violet. It does gain Rocky Helmet. Latios is going to get chased out. It cannot depend entirely on Scarm, although the fact there's a Magnezone means that makes for an interesting dynamic, because if I predict that at some point then Scarm's going to eat an Outrage or Dragon Claw or whatever. And okay, no, that doesn't make sense, because if he switches into an Outrage, then he's going to be locked in for a few turns. And what would be more likely, I think, is Magnezone coming in directly on Scarm as it switches in. but I can't see that happening because Slowbro forces outrage is the thing. So, and Jirachi can't really get rocks because Zatu's there and then Dugtrio follows. Not to mention Excadrill, so honestly this matchup is looking pretty nasty for Elodin because Slowbro is almost, you know, oh, and T-Wave, so Jirachi's definitely not doing shit now. I don't know, man, it's just, Slowbro is death almost by itself, and Magnezone gets dugged, and Latios, well, doesn't have specs anymore. Latios can still do a number, but he's not even going to switch out. He concedes the rocks, not sure if that was the wisest choice, because I don't see another need for Zatu. So, and if there's a Heat Wave, then he can actually make use of those choice specs. I guess his concern now is, well, now that rocks are up, then, well, Chansey's gonna get killed by this Chomp, or not killed, but, oh, whoops, what am I doing? So, Garchomp is going to threaten it a lot, or heavily, or whatever, so, you know, take the Eviolite, and suddenly, okay, Earthquake is going to be rolled. I think he soft wailed once because he's just out of range of Outrage. And he's got a Rocky Helmet, so... So, I think Latios over Starmie does help because it crippled Chansey, but there's also no rocks. So, Heist really likes these strategies, like with Zatu Doug shit, where he just tries to, you know, not lock you out from turn one, but certainly a matchup game. And Chansey's going to go down and Seismic Toss it. Not even scouting with Slowbro, that seems a little odd. Well, now Latios is actually a big problem. Of course, the problem with these teams is, you know, smart players will find a way to break through them. Spadef Scarm and Spadef Drill can help, but Mag for Scarm and Surf for Drill, so not great. And Latios also gets a trick off, but it will appreciate every item more than it does the Eviolite. So... now the tide is turned with the Chansey being out of the picture, so Rachi comes in and rocks up, so this is definitely not your ideal scenario. Rachi comes in, there's Citrus, and now Slowbro is not going to be Helmet, it has Lefties, that improves its survivability, and rocks are up, so he doesn't really need to chip the dragons. Here comes Drill, E-Ball, no damage, Lefties, yup, Spadef. So that helps, if this is Dice's Protect, it's not Mold Breaker, which is good, because I think it talks him. Although, I guess on a weatherless team, it's also possible that it's Sand Rush, but I digress. So, Earthquake, Protect, Toxic, Spin, it's a pretty awesome set, and he's going to clear those hazards all the livelong day. So there's some progress back. The issue is still going to be, yeah, this thing. And he can get his trick off now. He's going to Protect first, of course. So we're gonna see Protect, and then the question, well, Draco hammers everything. So I assume the Scarm is well, not fully Spadef. Even then, there's the Excadrill problem, but there's also the Dugtrio problem. So Ice still has a lot of ways, even without that Chansey. So something eats. Honestly, I think I would, if all Latios does is, you know, hurt Excadrill some, then I would take that in exchange, because Slowbro can live in unboosted Draco and regen out. So I think he stays in Intoxics, does nothing. Yeah. So I think he's kind of wasting the. I don't know. I think he would be better off trying to attack it with Dragonite or hell even Kyurem. Kyurem's Banded Outrage is going to stampede through things if he manages to get rid of the Scarm. However, that's a big if. And so now Exca protects almost surely because there's nothing that he can punish the Protect with too badly. And the benefit is obviously, well, he's going to be out of Surf range if that roll is any indication. So I think that's definitely the movie seat from Heist. And Elodin is going to go for his DD Lum Knight. Well, no, because there's still the Scar question and the Doug problem. So if it's Shed Shell, then this hasn't been a contest from the beginning. But we're choosing to pretend that is not the case for the sake of making this interesting. There's Protect. There's, well, doesn't really matter, but thing is, I guess you can't really hit this Latias with the move, but hell, even Rapid Spin with the. Oh, he's gonna go to Xatu, and that gets its helmet back. Or no, Latias gets its specs back. Okay, so now Draco is gonna melt something, except for Excadrill. I think he sacked Xatu, because he just wants more poison damage, and he probably wants acceptable health, where it can actually tank something from one of the dragons. And you'll switch into Jirachi all day. Even Magnezone, should it come to it. And Xatu is kind of like, who needs this? So, if he switched to Excadrill and Absorb Draco, yeah, he'd live, but then Excadrill wouldn't be useful defensively. And the bonus, and the upside of doing that is no upside, because Xatu's fucking useless. So, just let Xatu go to Draco, and then everything is fine. So, and if I assume it's got U-turn, so I assume even if you don't Draco the Xatu, then it sticks around, and then it will actually serve to annoy you. So, I mean, Dragonite, yeah, so he's just gonna disintegrate that, and now Drill comes in to protect and finish the job. Yeah, this is these Xatu Doug anti-rocks at all cost strategies really goes to show they really show to serve us. They really serve to show us. I'm sorry, that was a mess. How important rocks are in beating defensive teams, and how quote unquote cancerous battles can be when the other side is so utterly dedicated to not letting you have them, and having a really good defensive core. So I think like a solid Sand team would still have a very fair shot to beat Heist's team. It'd depend on the matchup and all, of course, but and the sets involved. So, but at the same time, this is why I really dislike it when hazard pokes get completely blanked by common spinners. Like when you cannot do anything, like Elodin here with the Jirachi against Excadrill, so I really dislike that. So, and he's really not making any sort of progress at all. So, yeah, like a stealth rocking Landorus would be fine here. Because it could at least get rocks up, and you go from there. Obviously, he doesn't want to eat a toxic from Exca on the switch, but So Slowbro's going to pivot into it all day. I mean, Slowbro is kind of a problem for this team regardless, so is Excadrill. Once again, awesome set. But yeah, this team just kind of like even permanent sand is still going to be annoying because I mean nullifying Slowbro's lefties and chance of taking damage is big. So the team like really goes like yeah. So Rocks T-Tar. I mean I've got Zatu, I've got Doug, and fucking extra drill. You're really not getting rocks on this. So but something like some sort of Garchomp would definitely be more of a prick to deal with. So that's why I don't tend to love these teams because I mean they are going for matchup, or a significant part of how they perform is determined by the matchup. It is not a team preview win or loss. But yeah, so here comes Zone on Slack Off, maybe expecting Skarmory to be safe to avoid a crit kill from EQ. But Doug's got its Sash, and Elodin can double switch a million times, but he will not be punishing any of Heist's Pokemon significantly, no matter what he does. So here comes Doug, here comes Sub. Is this going to be Magnet Rice? No, Flash Cannon, goodbye Zone. So, these kind of cheesy strategies, or more cheesy than you would regularly expect, then they generally do not get seen in such tournament situations. But Heist these days, he really loves putting the effort into making sure these really crafting, and I mean there's an attention to detail that most idiots would not have. So it isn't some brainless garbage, but well now Scarm is just going to go to town. So yeah. So Slowbro is the initial switch here because, well, if it doesn't have Ice Beam, then I guess not. Although Ice Beam on Slowbro is kind of underrated and really good because you actually smoke Garchomp, which you're trying to counter, and you Oko Lando, and you actually hit Latios, which tries to switch in a lot. So, and obviously it's still decent against a Moongus and whatever. So, obviously Slowbro generally prefers, Psychic Fire coverage, but if you can fit it, it is good. So, Scar may be safer, especially because if banned Outrage, then I guess you minimize damage on Slowbro, but I'm really just talking now because this looks supremely over. So, alright, so that is... The problem is, if he ever Fusion Bolt KOs something, then Dugtrio finishes it off because it's locked in the Fusion Bolt. So, unless he changed it to Life Orb Mix, which I guess is a very real possibility, and if he did, then it's actually quite a threat. So, Exca dies, Scarm gets 2 KO'd, Slowbro is severely threatened, and, well, I suppose Doug's got Reversal. I don't know how much it does at 9, and it would probably be minus defense, though, so there is that. If it is Life Orb, then Slowbro can stall it for a bit. Now that I think about it, I think it is that set. So the move here would be Ice. You don't scout Fusion Bolt by switching to Slowbro, so I think Ice Beam is the first move, because you nail the possibility of Excadrill. No, he's banded, that goes down. Here comes, well, Skarm will boost it off. So drill down, so he's actually making some progress, but I guess now he can get rocks. Ooh, that was not expected. Alright, so he gets rocks. That will still not be enough to kill Doug Trio, though. And I mean, he's got such a Pokemon advantage, but it is not translating here. So, is he going to Whirlwind expecting the... Yes, he does. Here's Chomp. Jirachi again. And he gets him on the spike. So rocks will go up. Doug, no full para, rocks. So that's a good move. He gets one more switch with Doug. I guess that was a better switch than, you know, fucking going to Slowbro and getting thundered or something stupid, but regardless, good move all around. So trio, 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 and here comes Dragonite. I assume he's gonna E-Speed. He needs Doug Trio alive, actually. Wow, that was risky. When you think about it, even though he made it so fast and Elodin was obviously so dead set on rocks that it was never going to happen, but Choice Band Fusion Bolt is actually really, really dangerous if he does not have Doug Trio, and now Doug is still around. So since he needs Doug around, then I think switch here is very obvious. So rocks are obviously important for breaking Scarf sturdy, but yeah, man, because if he goes Slowbro on an attack, then he's done nothing. Superior there. So I suppose it's not, you know, over. I mean, the advantage is significantly Heist, but it's Fire Punch with Mag. That is interesting. And he Whirlwinds, which is a good move. Linus is going to survive that poison with one, and it was a good move because if he DD'd again, then he'd be in trouble. I did not expect Fire Punch with Mag. I expected it to be Earthquake Extreme Speed, but I guess he was prepared for Shed Shell, which most Magnezone teams don't. As a rule of thumb, like, abuse Scarm. I mean, much of the guys who still try to hit Scarm even without it, because it hits other stuff. But at the same time, man, I don't know. But I mean, it's working here. Anyway, Doug comes in. Draco dropped. Doug gone. Fusion Bolt's a threat now. I'm not sure if that was the wisest move. Wow, that was actually not as foregone a conclusion as you might have thought. So the Fire Punch is actually a problem. And Kyurem actually comes in and Fusion Bolts. Well, no, he can't Fusion Bolt Slowbro because he's gonna die. No, wait, Kyurem dies to Hazard. What the fuck am I talking about? Okay, ignore all that Kyurem shit. I'm sorry. Yeah, no wonder. When did Kyurem take all that goddamn damage? Oh, the counter. Right. Alright, well, apologies for that. I guess I was right if he didn't have all that damage on him. But yeah, that's fine. So, Slowbro's gonna win. So, it was pretty won. So, I guess Elodin just sacks Kyurem to see what comes out. I mean, Slowbro's pretty safe. So, you go to Dragonite first, like, or do you go to Dragonite first? Do you go to, maybe the Scarchomp is toxic, which is awesome for Mew in surprise situations, and even like Gastrodon. Now he's gonna sack Kyurem, it's fine. Here comes Slowbro safely. So, does Garchomp yeah, I guess he'd, Garchomp was just going to, you know, get stalled out and lose, so he has no choice but to go for a DD win. Or, no, he can't go for, you know, he has to get, like, multiple Outrage crits here to possibly have any sort of shot at winning. So, hope that he's Scald, Fire Blast, and T-Wave. Nope, Psyshock, that's game. So, interesting battle for sure. Not your everyday black and white game. I generally don't enjoy saying cheese, but this was interesting. So, if you want to call it cheese. I think anything like Zatu Doug, then what else can you call it, you know? Anyway, Nice win. Well played. Rip Brazil. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you all next time.